Hey bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to tell you about some 2019 releases that I wish I had read in 2019. So this video is going to be just 2019 releases because I cannot even begin to make a list of all of the books, including backlist books, that I wish I had read this year because that's basically my whole TBR. This is going to be my second video in my year wrap-up series. I do have a playlist for my year wrap-up that will contain videos from previous year wrap-ups. I will link that for you guys in case you're interested and want to see the rest of the videos in this series. I went through all of my anticipated releases videos. Excuse that noise if you hear my dog. I just gave my dog some new Christmas presents and they are very loudly playing with them. I went through all of my 2019 anticipated releases videos and looked to see which ones I was excited about, that I am still excited about, but never got around to reading. And I think some of these might not have even been in my anticipated releases videos, but are just new releases that I heard about from other people and I'm really excited about reading. Hopefully I will read all of these in 2020, but that might be a bit of a lofty goal. I have 10 books to tell you about today and one honorable mention, and they are in no particular order. The first book on my list is The 10,000 Doors of January. This is a debut book by Alex E. Harrow that came out back in September. First of all, let's just admire this cover. It's gorgeous. This is an adult portal fantasy, and I've heard almost nothing but good things about it. It's a book about a book. There's a mysterious book that I believe unlocks doors to other worlds. It sounds fascinating. A lot of people have been loving this, including friends and reviewers that I trust, and I'm really interested in this one. The next book on my list is another debut, and that's The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling, which came out in April of this year. This is a science fiction horror book, so combining a couple of my favorite genres, which is the primary reason I am excited about it. There have been a couple of friends and reviewers who have read this book and either enjoyed it or loved it, and so I am really anxious to read it. It's about a woman who agrees to go on this expedition on another planet where she has to go like deep underground. She's completely isolated. All she has is this suit that has been like melded to her and attached to her, and the suit keeps her alive on this planet. She has a handler that she talks to through the suit, and that's the only person she has contact with on this expedition. I've heard that this is really intense and really thrilling, and I am dying to read it. The next book on my list is a YA book. It's The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. This is a YA dystopian, which I love dystopian, but I don't read enough of. And this one actually wasn't really on my radar. I don't think it made it to my anticipated releases list, but I've seen a lot of good reviews on it ever since it came out in October. The first sentence of the blurb says, "A speculative thriller in the vein of The Handmaid's Tale and The Power," which I haven't read The Power, but I want to, and I love The Handmaid's Tale. It looks like there's already a movie deal for it, which is awesome. In this dystopian world, it's thought that women have some sort of alluring magic, and when they turn 16, they are sent to live in the woods for a year because somehow this makes their magic go away. And this year is called the Grace Year. But the thing is that not all of the girls that get sent out into the woods survive the Grace Year. I am very intrigued by this plot, and I wish that I had heard about it sooner. The next book on my list is The Girl in Red by Christina Henry, which came out this summer in June. This is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling that is horror. So that sounds right up my alley. I was really intrigued by this one when I heard it was coming out, but I definitely was interested to see what the reviews would look like. And honestly, the reviews look pretty good. Not a whole lot of people have read it, but Riley from Riley Marie said that this might be one of her favorite books from this year. She also really enjoyed The Luminous Dead, which is another reason why it is high on my TBR, because she loved it. If you haven't checked out her channel, you definitely should. I will leave it in the description box. But she also really loved this book, and it's gotten me really intrigued. Not only is this a Red Riding Hood retelling, but it's a post-apocalyptic horror. So combining some of my favorite things, I love retellings, and I definitely haven't read enough Little Red Riding Hood retellings, and then throw in post-apocalyptic and horror, and I'm all over that. The next book on my list is The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys, which came out in October. This is a YA historical fiction set in Madrid in 1957. I have read two of Marissa Petty's other books. They were both YA historical fiction set during World War II. Absolutely loved both of them, and I have been waiting for her to come out with another book, and I can't believe I didn't get to this one right away. If you like historical fiction, I definitely recommend checking out Ruta Sepetys. Next, I have Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. This one came out all the way back in April of this year. It's a YA high fantasy that has an Asian inspiration, and my friend Elliot from Elliot Brooks really loved this book and made me really interested in it. It sounds like there's a lot of political intrigue, and I believe there's a murder mystery, and it just sounds really good. I'm really hoping that I will read this in 2020. Also, let's admire another beautiful cover. Next on my list, I have The Quiet at the End of the World by Lauren James, which came out in March of this year. This is a YA science fiction book, and it's set in our future after a time where a virus has caused worldwide infertility, and it's about the two youngest people left in the world. I read my first Lauren James earlier this year, The Loneliest Girl in the Universe, and I had a blast reading that book. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely wanted to try more Lauren James, and the synopsis of this book definitely sounds up my alley. Next, I have Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Kurtovich, and this came out in June. This is a YA fantasy horror, or horror fantasy, I don't know which one should come first, but it is a Faust retelling, which I don't really know that much about Faust, but I'm very intrigued by that. I read my first Dawn Kurtovich earlier this year, and that was And the Trees Crept In. It's one of my favorite horror books. I loved it so much, and I've been dying to read more Dawn Kurtovich since then. I honestly haven't heard that many people talking about Teeth in the Mist, but I don't really care because I am interested enough in it on my own that I definitely want to read it, and I wish I had read it this year. Next, I have Middlegame by Shannon McGuire, which came out in May. I can't believe I haven't read this book. This book has been super buzzy this year. It's an adult fantasy, and it's been getting such rave reviews. It's one of Books and Lala's favorite books, and so many other people that I follow have given this book 5 stars, and I'm dying to read it. I honestly don't know that much about it. I think it's about 2 twins, and that's all I got. I like to go into my books fairly blind, so I don't really need to know anymore, other than the fact that a lot of other people that I follow have really enjoyed it. Also, I've technically never read any Shannon McGuire books, so I need to fix that ASAP. And then the 10th book on my list is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This is the first book in a new series called Camelot Rising, and that's been a little bit of the reason why I didn't pick it up right away. I was trying to decide if I wanted to wait until the series was completed. However, this book has been getting really good reviews from people that I follow, and it's just got me so hyped for this book that I think I need to read it soon. This is a King Arthur retelling, and in the past I have enjoyed stories involving King Arthur or Merlin, but honestly it's been a really long time since I've read any stories about that stuff. When I read this, I'm not sure how much of it I will recognize as being part of the original tale. As the title suggests, the story centers around Guinevere, and she is sent by Merlin to become King Arthur's new wife, only it sounds like she's not who she says she is. I have loved so many of Kiersten White's other books, and I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy this one as well, especially after the good reception it's been receiving from people that I follow. And now for my one honorable mention, and that is Little Darlings by Melanie Golding, which came out in April. I'm putting this as an honorable mention because technically I just got it out from the library. I had the ebook copy on hold from my library when I had this book on my fall TBR. It didn't make it onto my winter TBR, but I forgot to cancel that hold and the book got checked out to me. So now I have it, and I think it's going to be the next ebook that I start reading, which will probably be before 2019 is over. So that's why it's an honorable mention, because I might start it in 2019, but I don't think I will finish it in 2019. This is an adult mystery thriller, and it's about a woman who gives birth to twins, and before she leaves the hospital, she thinks that someone has replaced her babies with babies that are not her babies. So like with changelings or something. But the thing is that nobody believes her. And we don't know if this is some sort of like postpartum psychosis or if this is something that really happened. The synopsis for this book says that it is an unsettling thriller perfect for fans of Neil Gaiman and Grimm's fairy tales. Alright guys, those are 11 books that I wish I had read in 2019. Fingers crossed that I read them in 2020 because I am excited about all of these and have heard good things about most of them. Let me know if you have read any of these books books and what you thought of them. And let me know in the comment section what are some books that you wish you had read in 2019. Alright guys, that is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye.